What's up, Convicted Mindset fam? Another week here, a Wealth Wednesday with my man, Stratton Brown. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, man, my pleasure. My pleasure. It's exciting. We've kind of crisscrossed back and forth with mutual friends, and it's been fun to see your trajectory as well. For everybody that's listening, for everybody that's watching, entrepreneur, real estate investor, my favorite family man. I've got 4 little ones myself. And so I love to be able to talk through that grind, right? You know what it's like. There's really no balance in life. It's difficult. How do I make a ton of money? How do I impact a ton of people? How do I have a ton of time with my family? Right? How do you figure it out?
I mean, I don't. I think anybody who tells you they do is full of shit. And I
Yes.
don't know if I can cuss or not.
You're good.
Oh, bro, they're all full of shit, right? So with me, it's whatever is needed is the best thing I could say, right? So I was just doing my son's hair because I'm taking him to my meetup tonight, but then I haven't seen him for a little while. And then I was up until 1 a.m. working on some shit last night.
Yeah.
Right. And then other times, so we went out to Utah for a month last month just to spend time with my family and still work. But then even while I'm out there, I'm working all day until 7.
Mhm.
And then I get 2 dedicated hours with my family, who generally people don't spend that much time with their parents anymore. Right. And so you kind of build it however and I got that from Jesse Itzler.
Okay.
How we were talking about it before is bro, let's say my parents are in their 60s. They have 20 more years left. Generally, people only see their parents 2 times a year. Whatever that math is that's how much time you get with them moving forward. Toward now, that's why we go home every winter and we go home in the summer and we try and spend at least a month and some change out there. I was trying to do 6 months and 6 months, but now it's just, I need my routine, right?
Yeah.
But if I can do that and stay there, and then the last day, we all went to Topgolf, right? But I was in the car for 3 hours on different fucking business calls trying to raise money for that deal, talking to one of my mentors, hey, how do I handle this problem? How do I handle that problem? And then I walked in for the last, let's say, hour or so. But then I still got to go to Topgolf. I went there with everybody else. I worked while I was there. And then I walked in once I took care of all the shit that allows us to go to Topgolf.
Yeah.
Right? That allows us to go to Topgolf at fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday.
Yes. Yes. And that's the gratitude to keep in perspective. In my opinion, it's I say it all the time, for me, and you kind of made mention, work less and make more money. And if there was really these 5 spinning plates, mental, physical, emotional, financial, spiritual, they never spin perfectly harmoniously.
No.
Never. And
No,
go ahead.
No. Work less, make more is an amazing moniker. And I got that from Josh Snow. But Josh is, again, a savant. And you have to build your business to a certain point to where it works that way. And then you're working less as you focusing on bigger picture problems.
Yes.
And leading the team. And it's because you can't say work less, make more, and you only have a 7-figure company. I don't think you can. It may be a lifestyle business, but is it something that can last time? No. It may have its just time in the sun, then it'll die out. But if you're going to truly work less, make more, Josh's company does $200 million a year.
Right.
At that point, yes, it is a work less, make more.
Yeah. It's an easy way to scale. So as you're talking to the folks that are listening to this, how did you get started on your journey? How did you find your purpose, your path, your passion, and how do you make profits?
How did I get started? So I played football at Fresno State. I thought I was going to be filthy fucking rich, go to the NFL, make a ton of money. And so I started reading books on my way because I was partying my ass off in college, right? I was having a good time. And so I was all right, bro, we aren't going to end up on broke. How are we going to protect ourselves from ourselves? I was you got to learn how to invest your money. I was all right. And so I started listening Bigger Pockets, read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Dave Ramsey. It was reading all these books while I was training for my pro day and training to go to the NFL. I go to the Seahawks. They're hey, bro, it ain't going to work out. I was fuck. Okay. And it was, do I want to focus on this for another year to get a chance, or do I want to focus on starting a career? Right. And so I'm doing that while I was training. I was going to a bunch of real estate meetups. And at that point in time, I met my first real estate mentor, and he's Jason's mentor too, Alan Folio. And I met Alan, and I remember I was just sitting there talking to him at the meetup, and he was used to make like $20,000 or $30,000 a year driving a tractor on a farm. Now I make $200,000 a month. He pulls up his phone. He's like, here's the checks. I'm not fucking lying.
Yep.
And he's like, and I'm going to buy a jet. I own 60 rentals right now. I have a portfolio in Indiana on top of those 60 rentals. And yeah. And I'd never even heard anybody say anything like that ever in my life, right? Like no one ever say I have a jet. Nobody's like has these big aspirations. And so at that point in time, I was starting like a home inspection business. And I did one mock inspection. I was like, this is fucking gross. I don't like it. I don't want to do it no more. So I did one mock inspection. I called him up. I was like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, okay, go download this app and go knock these doors. And so I went. At this point in time, my girlfriend's pregnant. And I went and knocked doors dusk till dawn, just trying to get a foreclosure to sell. And so much like she really thought I was cheating on her because I'd just wake up, leave. Right. And then I'd come home when the sun went down and I'd keep doing that. And then when our son was born, I'd just take him with me and I'd keep going and doing that and then cold calling. And then eventually, and at this point in time, I was going to college and I came to another like crossroads because I was out in Fresno and my girlfriend at the time was from Baltimore. And so we had no support system. Like we were just out there on our own. I was like, well, I can take my son to work because my boss would let me take him to work, but I couldn't take my son to school. So I ended up dropping out of school, working for Alan 100% full time, running a lot of the day to day. And then eventually I broke off on my own.
Wow. Wow. So you learned a ton, I bet, from Alan.
Oh, dude, an MBA in real estate, like the best thing I could have ever done. And I think Warren Buffett says it, when you're young, don't work for money, work for skills.
Yeah.
And I think that is very, very
Speak to that real quick, because earlier, right before we started recording this, you had mentioned one of the things that I love about your Instagram, and we'll tell everybody where to find you, is like you talk about your losses like I do. Because I don't think life is a highlight reel, bro. Like life is not 8 seconds of the greatest clips of our life.
Yeah.
The ingredient, I have a t-shirt and it's like the most controversial shirt that I wear, maybe not, but it says #failure. And people are like, man, why do you promote that? And I'm like, because failure is the ingredient for success.
Like with failure, you got to see what the fuck you're made of.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? Like with this whole thing, that this massive ego blow that was me not being able to raise the money and take down this deal was like really self-reflective and like one of the bigger failures I've had of like, oh bro, I'll be able to do this, no problem. And then you have to look at yourself in the mirror like, man, you fucking sucked at this. we did not take it down. We're not where we thought we were going to be, like all these other things. But this will only play into bigger. And it's a really, really good learning experience because I know when you need to raise money, it's not when you raise money. You raise money significantly before you need to raise the money.
Yes. Yeah.
100%. You want me to talk about that failure?
I would love for you to talk about it for the people. Yeah. And tell them how big it was. Because one of the things that you always say is like, and you got to think bigger. You got to dream bigger. You've got to dream bigger for everybody that's watching this. So yeah, talk about it.
So this was a storage facility in Norfolk, Nebraska. It was 400 containers, 100 parking stalls on 15 acres. And we started negotiating with them in like January. Like I said at the beginning, if we would have done this and like got it done in March, we would have probably made like $2 million to $3 million. Like just buying it, putting it back on the market and fucking selling it. But it went out and we just canceled on it yesterday. And so we're going. It's taken forever, like to just like get everything, because like it's like Midwestern, like the people are slower, they move slower for us to get paperwork and everything else. We fly out there, go look at it, like, all right, we're buying it at 3.1 million. We finally get it hashed out. And like I'm negotiating with them I negotiated with them in 3 different countries, right? Well, 3 different states. So I was in Baltimore negotiating, then I had to go to Dallas to speak at an event negotiating. Then I had to go to Mexico for my partner's wedding and still like negotiating with it and like hashing out all the details. And then finally, we get it all laid out. Okay, 3.1 million. We'll fly out there and look at it. Fly out there and look at it. And like, okay, my boy comes in, is like, yeah, I got it. I'll raise the money. We'll handle it. And then when my boy got an opportunity to take down a $20 million facility, he's like, all right, bro, I'm backing out on the money raising. He's like, I can't do it. Like, I need to be able to raise money for this $20 million opportunity. Because like, I understand, like we had an agreement. I was like, bro, completely fine. I fucking got this. Don't worry about it. And so I was all right. Now I got to go out there and like raise $1 million. I was okay. I got this. I think we have enough. But then with the market, I mean, I never want to make excuses is one thing, but like the market was churning, right? So like I wasn't as, let's say, confident of like, we're gonna be able to buy this to where, let's say if this would have been in March, I would have went to like solo investors and I would have gotten a hard money loan, essentially. Right? I would have gotten a hard money loan and then I knew I would have been able to refinance at a good rate, even if I couldn't flip it. Right. And I'd feel comfortable even like putting myself in like an 18-month, 24-month balloon.
Yeah.
I don't care. But then now, like, there is no way in hell I would put myself in that situation.
Right.
And so I'm trying to raise all this money. We get to a certain point, but then I just like realized, like, bro, we're not gonna hit it. And then I don't want to drag out the sellers either while I'm trying to raise all this cash. Like, because I don't want to be a fuck. I want to be a man of my word. So yesterday my girlfriend handles the self storage with me. So she called them. We gave them the phase 1 that we had, we gave them all our inspections. Like, hey, here's what happened. We're not gonna be able to perform. And that the biggest thing is that I'm not a man of my word on that, right?
Yeah.
So now I got to call our investors, tell them like, hey, we're not doing this deal. The ones who we did raise money from. And you got to call the sellers because like we went and met the sellers and the broker, like talk to them, tell them you're not a man of your word. And you're talking about it everywhere on social media saying like, hey, here's our deal. We're trying to take it down. We're going to get it. We're going to crush it. And then you got to admit you're lost to everybody else, the thousands of people who follow you and watch all your shit every day. Right. And so it's a lot of, let's say, self-made pressure for no reason, right? Because if I wouldn't have announced it, I wouldn't feel the pressure besides myself.
Yeah.
And then it all essentially fell apart. And that's just one of the failures we've had recently.
You thrive on the pressure when you put it out there on social and you tell people, do you thrive on the pressure? Did you do that a little subconsciously or was that accidental?
No, I don't need, it makes good content, right? And the bigger my brand gets, the more money I'll make. But I put plenty of pressure on myself the way it is. Like, as far as that, I feel like I do thrive under pressure because it's one thing I've always fought with is battling complacency. Because when you get decent at making money, you can make enough money to feel okay.
Yeah.
But then it's really having the discipline to push through to achieve your goals.
Got it. There it is. I like that. So earlier you said that you shut down a couple businesses because of focus.
Yeah.
Talk with these guys out there that are listening who are trying to do 3 things at once and don't really have a sure foundation of the first thing. One of the misconceptions I believe that's out there is it's like the Warren Buffett moment. Like, don't worry. You can do 50 things because that's what Buffett does. That's how he made his money.
Number one, Warren Buffett only invests money and then he takes dividends and there's operators and CEOs in all of those companies.
Yeah.
And if I was doing that, sure. If I'm trying to operate 3 or 4 different businesses, that's another thing, right? So like Elon Musk is the only person I think alive who has 2 Fortune 500 companies and he operates them.
Right.
And that's one person in 8 billion.
Yeah.
One, the only person there to where like you're trying to start these little side hustles that'll make you 5-6 figures a month. Like you need to have so much focus. Number one, just to be good with your clients and really develop the product, develop the service, get the operations right. And unless, like I was saying, unless I'm going to bankroll all these things and shell out cash to bring on a real operator at the beginning, unless they're a partner, it doesn't make financial sense for me. It made more sense to focus in all of that time, energy, and cash flow in the vehicle that's working, and then grow that exponentially until that's okay. Now it's truly a business that's running, it's crushing. Now what can we do with this excess cash? And then even then, I've come to the conclusion, I'm investing. Like I will not go into another business unless we have a CEO, an operator, and I can bankroll it or I can use my brand to assist it.
Yeah. I like that. And do you think that you need to bring other people on that are different from you? You talk about 3 heads. Do you think, where do you think your strength is, and where do you see the importance of bringing a team around you to build that up?
So you need 3 heads, like operations, product, and then marketing and visionary. Okay. Is the way I see it. And I mean, operations and product can somewhat go in themselves depending on how good the person is. Okay. I think you need to surround yourself with people who are like, one thing for me, you need to do business with people who you like. If you don't, then your life just sucks. Trust me on that one. But then at the same time, you need to have, like, I'm more of like the visionary, marketing, sales, that good stuff, to where I'm not going to sit and dial out a back end process of product and ops. Like, that's just not me. Like, I can lead people, but do I want to sit in front of an Excel sheet? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? No, like, I want to go out and keep marketing, keep closing. Yeah. And then, like, all right, we can get here. Here's what I think we can do. Here's what I want it to look like. Here's my mental model. Now I need someone else to actually go take that mental model and like build out the back end.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Okay. And so when these guys are starting up right now and they've got an idea and they go, look, where do I start? Right? I've only got $10,000. Where do I start? What do I do?
I mean, if it's just entrepreneurship wise, I'd identify a problem that you're encountering in your life. So for our VA company, I got tired of using shitty ass VA companies. I got fucked over for like $6,000 by a company. I was like, whatever, I'll do it myself. Like, I see a problem in the market. Here's the problem. How can I make it better? And then I just did it better.
Yeah. Brilliant. And then in terms of real estate, wholesaling, walk these folks through what wholesaling is and what you do with wholesaling.
So essentially all wholesaling is you're going to market to property owners. I'd say pre-foreclosures are the best right now, especially with pre-foreclosures kicking up a little bit. You're going to market to the seller. You're going to be like, hey, I'd like to buy your house. Like, okay, I want $100,000. Like, sweet. And then you say, okay, do I want to take this down, go get a hard money loan and flip it, or bring in a partner? Or do I want to sell it to someone else because I bought it so good at like $130,000? And then wholesaling is just an exit strategy of me saying, like, you know what? I'm just going to sell it off in escrow for $30,000, wipe my hands clean, and move on to the next.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Now, where do we get the leads from? And is this where the VA comes in?
Yeah. So you get the leads from VAs. Well, you can go door knock. Like, I started off door knocking pre-foreclosures. And that's a really, really good way to do it. You can have VAs cold call for you, text for you. You can send out direct mail. You can buy leads off of just lead providers online. You can do all sorts of marketing. I'd say door knocking and cold calling is probably your best bet at the beginning. Everything else has a little bit more of a barrier to entry.
Yeah. And so with your VA company, what are you focused on? And how do these folks reach out to you if they are looking for a good virtual assistant company?
So we primarily focus on helping real estate investors scale, and anybody who's doing somewhat of telemarketing or administrative work, and helping you build out that back end operation to where, for like a cold calling business, let's say if you have solar, healthcare, anything where you're doing some outbound, you're building another organization to where you need to have a coach online. You need to be listening to all their calls. You need to be grading their calls, making sure people are showing up, motivating them all day, training them every day, and then replacing the people who quit. Because I mean, cold calling, you get a high attrition rate, right?
Right.
So you're building a whole organization, just another organization inside of your business.
Mm-hmm.
We take that off of the plate of anybody who's doing outbound. And then as far as back end administrative things, to where you're not going to hire your assistant over here at $20 an hour to do it. You can come to us. We'll do it cheaper. We'll do it more efficiently, and we'll help you scale it that way too.
I love that. And what business is that? How do they get a hold of you or your people to look into more of that?
Callmagicians.com is the best way to go on that one.
Beautiful. I love it. Okay. Brilliant. So wholesaling, virtual assisting. And so what it seems to me that you've done is you've built yourself an infrastructure of being able to use a product, identify a problem, right? Individuals that need to get rid of real estate or individuals that need to scale. And then you've just put a process in place in order to keep those leads coming in, which allows you to work less and make more.
Work less, make more. And the work less, make more is just focusing on what you like doing more, so it feels less like work.
I love that.
Most entrepreneurs, I mean, if you're a true entrepreneur, I don't think you'll ever retire.
No. But finding what makes you fulfilled on a daily basis. I love that. Tell the folks lastly about your meetups.
Oh, our meetups.
Yeah.
We throw small real estate meetups here in Fresno, California. If you want to learn about real estate, get into real estate. They're 100% free. We don't sell anything. We just come and offer as much value as we humanly can to the community.
There's so much value in those, man. So much. And I've seen them, hundreds of people showing up, networking, creating a total community around what's to come next. When you look at the real estate market, any predictions on what's coming down the pipeline or what people should be doing with their cash?
I would say still buy stat cash. I don't think so. I don't know if we're running out of time, but Jason, both of our friends, when COVID hit, Jason like tripled down and made millions, and I pulled back. And so I don't think I'll ever pull back again. I will just always buy deals that are worth $3. I will always buy them for $1, and I will know where the $3 mark is instead of trying to buy them at $3 and sell them at $5 based off of something else. Like, just buy shit really cheap, no matter what, and I'll be good. Don't pull back ever, because let's just say it's dollar cost averaging. Like, I'm just buying in, dude. Like, I just want to buy in and buy as much as I can. I know I'm buying great deals. I believe in the asset.
Yep.
And we're good to go. And I mean, yeah, it's going to go down, dude. It has to.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be, there's still nothing economically that I see that is going to shoot a bunch of homes onto the market like it did in 08. It's statistically impossible. But yes, there will be more homes available, but are you going to have another 08 crash? In my head, there's nothing that points towards that.
I agree with you on that. How do people find you?
On Instagram.
Yep.
The best way to do it is at StratDaddy. 2 D's, 2 Y's.
Perfect. On Instagram. It's probably where you're most active.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
and
man.
And then I have a podcast, the Winning Move podcast. I always forget to plug that.
Absolutely. The Winning Move podcast, available everywhere?
Yep, available wherever you can listen to a podcast.
Beautiful, man. I appreciate it. Well, I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate what you've done here and the information you've shared with the folks. So hopefully people will get value out of it. Hopefully people will realize that, you don't need to make miracles overnight, and you've got individuals here that will show you a path to success. So I appreciate you coming on, brother.
Oh yeah, thank you. My last parting words on all podcasts is just don't give up and you'll win.
I love that. It's so true. Have you heard that Ed Milet story when his dad's like, one more day?
Yeah, bro, that one's powerful.
Right?
That one's powerful.
Just don't give up one more day. Just don't give up one more time. Just don't give up one more day. And then it just keeps going.